All right, so he's here for an estimate on the Cooper, and he's going to get a little education on, you know, all the little intricate things that we can do for these cars. I can already pick out a bunch of things. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you again, man. Good to see you.
You too.
Okay, so I know we're here. We want to go over now the details. We talked on the phone, and we want to make sure that you're clear on what it is exactly that we do. Do you have any questions up front?
I'm just tired of going through car washes and screwing up my car, and obviously I want to do whatever I can to protect it, to add value to it, because I plan on having this for a while.
Yeah, it's a cool little toy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So there's a couple things. 2 frames. One frame, we talk about impact resistance, and that's going to be rock chips, which means we're talking about PPF, paint protection film. The secondary is going to be the ceramic coating, which is more of the catch-all protective coating that we can put on every single surface. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you can do all your plastics.
Well, yeah, you can see how it got, you know, dings here up front.
Dings, and that's going to happen especially with a car low to the ground. So immediately the first conversation is going to be about PPF. So when we talk about PPF, really the goal is to get you what you need. Now I think a car that's low to the ground, you should be doing the whole front end, just because if you see this thing backed up to like a regular pickup, the bumper is here, right? Yeah. So, you know, you're driving down the road, you're gonna be catching a lot of that debris, whatever it may be, sand, rocks, or it doesn't matter what it is, you're gonna catch it. So one thing that you need to know is you can actually do PPF on all this little trim. So these little pieces here, you can go across all the nose pieces and anything like air dams and things like that. So it's pretty comprehensive what they can do, especially now with the computer cut. They can cover everything really well. Before we do that though, it's important that we give it a light correction, because even though, believe it or not, PPF covers a lot, it's not the right way to do it. You want to try to correct out that paint, and also that's going to clean out the paint. So we get good bond, we're stuck to a clean surface, and I know those guys appreciate it anyway when they're actually putting it on. So that'll be the first thing. So if we were to do that, it kind of be, okay, we're going to get correction, then PPF, and then we go to the ceramic coating. So it's kind of a multitude of stages there. Well, let's talk about what the rest of the service would entail then too. So if you go like everybody that comes through DNA, you're buying everything. So are you changing the wheels out, or are you planning on sticking with the red?
I'm gonna stick with the red.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna keep those. I didn't know if you had any ideas. Yeah, it's a nifty look. So let's go from the ground up. So first off, with wheels, brake dust accumulation, it's always a thing that people hate, and they hate cleaning the wheels, and at the end of the day, you want to spend less time doing it. So if you had a surface that's kind of like a dry erase board, that would be pretty nice. Now, there's 2 options. We can go with just faces, where the wheels will stay on the car, not the one I would do, or we can go with the TSP, where we're going to pull off the wheel and actually get to the calipers and the entire wheel assembly. So that's the barrel and the wheel faces. Now, when we do that, this is a great wheel, simple design, so we actually spray these. The reason we spray is because we can lay on a really nice layer that's going to be much more durable than when you do it by hand. So you don't have so much control with your layer thickness when you're laying it by hand. Right. And guys tend to even miss little corners, so it's not the way to do it. So we're going to spray the entire face. We hand lay the barrel because that's just one continuous.
So you'll be able to go right inside there to the point of.
Yeah, so when the wheel's off, we'll be able to get your caliper, but the barrel of the wheel will be actually completely non-stick now too. So the whole entire wheel assembly itself, caliper, and then any type of plastic that's in the wheel well. So even though you don't look at it too much, when you clean the car, you always see that dirty wheel well plastic. So we do that anyway, just because we're there cleaning it up already. So that would be what the TSP would give you. Okay. And that's kind of the best way to do it, just for long-term, cleanup and protection. So remember, this is all about material preservation, okay? The next thing we're gonna go, let's just go over to the trim that's over the wheel well. So you can already see kind of, from guys waxing or who knows, and this trim is not really that dark. It's not really that dark at all. So, and I know for a fact that this will probably get 8 shades darker, and it's gonna look beyond brand new. And not to say that it's gonna look like an Armor All kind of janky, shiny look to it. It's gonna be that perfect, crispy, I always call it crispy sheen. Okay, so along with these plastics, you have the wiper cowling on this. There's not too many other plastics on the vehicle, but you do have some rubber. And if you look at the weather strips here, these are all areas too that we're concerned about, all right? Because over time, what do? They break down, they start to leach.
They fray, they break apart.
Yeah, black comes off on your towels and your hands. So we're gonna take care of all this, and anything, kind of when we open this top up, this is all game in here. So you got to,
oh, okay,
yeah,
wow.
You got a seal in here. So, you know, believe it or not, when the boot comes up over this, you've got pieces in there. So whether we're using the hard coatings or we're using the Regenix, the water-based product, we're basically trying to touch all the weather stripping and seals that are in there, and even any of the mechanical workings. That's kind of the nice part about the water-based. We can just spray it anywhere, let it dry. You don't have to worry about it curing onto the paint. So everything's done. So we got that buttoned up. Outside of that, what we want to do is go to the plastics of the tail lights and the headlamps too. So those are included, and that's important. Tailpipes, everything. Now, here's one of the things that I always explain to people about this. You know, after a while, it gets really hard to clean all this kind of baffled or corrugated or honeycomb plastic. Doesn't matter what vehicle it is. All these areas get hard to clean, especially on the front of the vehicle. So here again is another chance for us to do some really good solid coating work where we actually put that into a detail spray gun, and once it's all clean, we just airbrush it on there.
Wow.
It stays just like the way we set it, and that literally will last you probably over the 4 or 5 year mark. And that's why we spray, because you're actually building a nice layer versus trying to hand wipe it in. It doesn't look very even. So from the front to the back, the grill work will all be sprayed as well. Now, lastly, we got 2 things to talk about here, well 3. We've got the paint. So judging by what we see when it comes in, because really we want to get a read on the paint for correction reasons once it goes through the wash process. You know, look, it's gonna go through the clay, it's gonna go through the decon bath where we take all and strip kind of all the wax and all the contaminants. The clay towel, you're familiar with? Okay. So the clay towel is just another way to pull those bonded contaminants out of paint so you feel super smooth. Also, so it's clean. So when you polish, you're not polishing through bonded brake dust or anything. I mean, there's a million things that could go wrong there. So once that's done, you're always gonna have a little bit of marring. So no matter what, we're gonna do some kind of light correction. It's just kind of a standard. It's almost impossible to ever have a car that doesn't need it. I'd say 1 out of 20 cars we can get away with that. So it's very common. One thing that we always pay attention to is not to ruin matte finish surfaces. You got some stripes here, so we want to make sure that we have those protected. The glass itself, along with the paint, will all be treated, and then you have your convertible top. So I usually recommend, if you don't know the last time that this has been treated, we'll see it. If it has any hydrophobic quality at all, we'll see it when we wash it. So the big thing there is, if it doesn't sheet or bead water, guess what? We're gonna treat it. We have a fabric.
Good, yeah, because I don't believe it's ever been done.
Yeah, and it actually adds to the color as well.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
you'll see a deeper color because it's really going into the threads. So really cool nanoscale coatings that really penetrate into there. So that's good. Paint, look, 2 coats is good for anybody. You don't need to go crazy with that. Beyond that, the guys that are selling 4 or 5 layers, it's not necessary. 2 coats on our Bravo package is perfect. We're really doing what we're gonna call the Alpha package. The Alpha package is gonna be your front end PPF and then the Bravo coating. So we just call it the Alpha now. It's kind of a newly adopted term we have. And beyond that, once you have all those things done, the last is that glass. So you got a windshield coating, it's highly durable, no wipers on the highway. I don't care if it's a hurricane. Everybody slows down, puts their 4-ways on, they can't see. Right. And they're overworking the wipers and it still doesn't work. So just imagine Rain-X on steroids. I mean, that's glass coatings we've worked with, forever. I've been doing it. The very first thing I got into was a glass coating 14 years ago. So I was so impressed with that it drove me into where I'm at now.
Did you just say Rain-X on steroids?
On steroids.
All right, very good.
So
nice.
The side glass, we don't have to use the same type of coating because we don't have wiper wear. So we'll use our Slick AF, which is a really hydrophobic spray. and we'll do that on the inside of the glass
Okay,
too.
cool.
You know, it's difficult to wipe windows if you don't have any treatment on it. Even tint, you want something smooth so that tint slides in and out of that door seal.
Nice.
So
yeah.
it'll be smooth in there, and the windshield. What everybody seems to hate to clean. Well, this is gonna make it super easy. And a small car shouldn't take you very long to detail this up. Now the benefits, because we talked about that before, of kind of like the long term and how easy it is to clean up. The benefits are gonna be like this. Number one, you have a similar surface on every material, okay? That's number one. Number two, it always looks and appears as if it's been detailed fresh. Even when they're dirty a little bit, they're so glossy and shiny that they appear to be like they just came out of a detail center, okay? And that actually sustains for years. So your first 2 years, and this is for any coating, any one, your first 2 years are really nothing for a professional coating. So, you know, when we do our annuals, you should be coming in, getting a spiff up, send you back out for the first 2 years. Now, for those who take care of them, I think the reality is that people in year number 3, what I've seen, because I've done it so long, is that they stop caring so much. Even me, 3rd year having a new truck, you start to wash it less and you get a ding in it, you know, you start to kind of lose love for it, but that's kind of reality. So we always promote that this is a real time, like real life 3 to 4 year coating. That all depends on you.
3 to 4 years.
That's
wow.
huge too. And again,
Wow.
the idea that there's, you know, we used to be sold by formulators like, oh, we have a 2-year coating, we have a 5-year coating. It's all nonsense. At the end of the day, it's all about maintenance. So our annual service that I'm talking about is really all you're gonna worry about throughout the next couple years. You'll have our aftercare products to go along, so they're coupled together. Again, we picked the right things to go with this to make it easy. And when you go about your business with just doing a simple car wash, it should take you half the time that it normally would have, because the easy clean is really the reason, and then the easy drying. So we've got you set up with the right wash towels, the right drying towels, the slick spray, and the right soap. And that's our little, you know, combo
Right.
there. So outside of that, do you have any questions? I mean, I know I threw a lot
So let me
at
just
you.
clarify. So the Bravo package gets me a glass smooth as FCK, as you like.
We call it smooth as fuck,
Yeah,
yeah.
smooth as back. And that's the Bravo. And if I want to get the next layer to that, literally.
We go to Alpha and we get PPF on the front end. Yep.
Okay.
So
So it'll be smooth, and then you'll throw the protective film over top. That's
and we're
the
gonna
Alpha.
coat, and we will coat over the film. Now, the new Expel Ultimate, that all comes like pre-coated, but it's not highly durable. So we will actually put a top coat over that, but it doesn't really take ceramic coatings now. The old films used to. So now really what we use is that slick spray that I keep referring to, that's gonna be the thing that we'll install over top, and that's what you're gonna maintain it with.
Right, and you'll show me how to use
Yeah,
all
and
that
even
when I'm
Expel
done. Yeah.
Fusion, it's no
Okay.
better than all the other stuff. So
All right.
we know where we're going with all this. You got your impact film, you've got your material preservative on everything else. One surface, easy clean, and beyond that, you know, if you needed, I see we have a little need for a touch up on the wheel.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
get that sent out. If it's a factory color,
Thanks,
they can recolor.
That's huge.
Interior as a convenience, because you don't have a light colored interior.
Right.
If you did, I'd recommend doing the 9H coating in there. But I would tell you right now, as a convenience, we do the water-based Regenics throughout the interior. So now you have that cool non-stick. It's a smooth feel, no grease at all. Nothing like putting Armor All on. But now from the interior to the weather strips of the door, to the door jamb, out to the paint, you've got this continuous film, basically we'll call it, okay, of non-stick, okay? And that's the way you go. Even under the hood, everything in there, we lay that Regenics on there. It's just so that you have non-stick everywhere.
So this is 3 years old, and I need every detail, because I can, you know, just looking at the wheels, the grease and the dirt, especially in the cup holders, you're gonna take care of all of that.
Yeah, and that's, again, between the professional install and the detailing stuff, you'll basically look at this as a beyond brand new vehicle. And that's kind of what we go for every time. So if you're on that, then I'm just gonna sign the deal for you. I'll have Charlene take care of getting you set up, and we'll go from there. Sound good to you?
Sounds fantastic. So how long will it take?
Okay, so once we hit the shop and it's scheduled, depending on this wheel, The wheels like usually a 48-hour
Okay.
turnaround, sometimes
Makes sense,
even
yeah.
next day. 3 days of work on this, even though it's a small car, just consider 2 full
Wow.
work days. Third day should really sit here, especially where you got rain season going on. So you really want it to stay inside. You don't want to drive out the same day in a rainstorm. We need cure time. So I always tell people, if you don't mind leaving it for the week, it's better for the project. But if you're in a rush, it can't be raining when you take it.
Yeah.
That's the only rule, and you will not break that one for me. So I'm not gonna hear it on the other 2 weeks later and you're like, hey, what's wrong? Yeah, just consider it 3 to 5 days, depending on where you're at. And if you're going out of town, whenever you decide to do this, you can drop it with us. You know, let us know how it works best for you in your
And
schedule.
how about just pricing, an estimate, ballpark? I know it depends on hours and what you find and all of that, but
So the good thing is here that you've got your alpha package here. We'll get you costed out on the PPF.
Okay.
Because they're kind of case by case. And then here's your Bravo package right here with the coatings. Correction is always determined after that wash. We'll give you a call. We'll even give you a video just to show you before and after. Look, I can tell you already, it's normally going to be a 2-step because it's a dark color. So we'll cut in, get any of the heavier defects, and then we'll have to finish it out. And then of course your TSP, there's your full wheel removal and your glass coating right here. Okay, like I said, interior I'm going to do as a convenience, since when you buy at that level, we'll do the convenience interior for you. But all said and done, if you start to add all these just as rough, you see you're going to be probably around $2,500 for the correction and coating. And then the PPF could run you about $1,400. Now it's not crazy for someone to do this because of the length of time. It's investing into the future. Look, when you sell this, when you decide, or when you keep it, it doesn't matter. This is gonna be something that's still with the car.
it'll be mint condition.
And you said it's like garage kept, but
It
you
is
drive
garage kept, yeah, but I highway driving primarily.
Okay, so great for the PPF. So, you know, look, we're really looking at this as a permanent deal. So
Yeah.
the investment up front is very worth it. I've had people come in here and spend $3,000 or $4,000 all the time that thought that they were going to spend $1,000, but they start to realize, okay, I see all the benefit of the in and out of this. So that being said, we should do that deal, get you started, since it is a busy summer, and make sure that you get in here. Okay, sound good?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Joe.
Look forward to it, man.
All right, thank you very much. And by the way, for those of you who just watched that, I just want to say this. This is kind of how we deal with, this is actually exactly how we deal with every customer coming in. It's all about the education. You really, really want to know how deep we're getting into this. You want to know all the little intricacies. Why are we doing, why does it take 3 days? Why is the price tag this high? I will say this, it would be one of the best services done the way that we just spec'd it out. And it's important to know and ask your detailer or your ceramic coating company what they're going through, and ask them about all those the weather strips and the door jambs and under the hood. Ask them how they apply to the wheels. You know, do you spray or do you lay? There's a lot of different things that are done across the board that are similar, but I can tell you, oh boy, there are so many things that are done that are so different. And you know, when you're looking at echelons, okay, tiers of different installers, we like to put ourselves at the top because we take the time. We've done this so long, we want to be the best at it, but it's all about the value that you're getting. So it's not about the ego, it's about the value the customer is getting, and it's also about knowing where we're going after that. So that's why we coupled the aftercare system with this, and we'll make sure guys like this are able to take care of their vehicles without having any stress at all. Same thing with the marine side. So that's the walkthrough of the DNA estimate here at HQ.